What is cracking addicts? We are back at it like a crack addict. This is not Pokemon, and this channel is gonna just start being irrelevant stuff. So you might just want to unsubscribe to be honest, because I don't care. I'm just gonna start posting things in light of Spider-Man Brand New Day. I was about to say Pokemon Brand New Day. In light of Spider-Man Brand New Day, finally got to see it August 4th. It's actually August 5th now because this is midnight, but it is what it is. I want to do a tier list of all the Spider-Man movies in terms of my enjoyment because that's what I wanted to do. Starting off, what the ligma? Why would somebody put this? Let's replace that with the greatest movie of all time. It's pretty hard to type with this glove on, but I had to make it work. Now, put this. What's this music? Put this up a little. Okay, anyways. First and foremost, Spider-Man 1. Uno itself. Let's go. Easy S. Everything's peak. Like, literally everything's peak. Perfect beginning, laid the groundwork perfectly, and it's probably the biggest reason why the MCU exists today. This in the Blade movie. Secondly, greatest movie of all time. Like everything that Spider-Man 1 did well, Spider-Man 2 does better. Along with the fact that it's hardly even a superhero movie when you consider the guy quite literally gives up his suit. The name is Spider-Man, and Spider-Man isn't even in the movie for like a good chunk. It's all about the characters. Peak MJ, peak Doc Ock, peak Peter Parker, everything peak. Speaking of peak, back in the day, this is where this belonged. That's what the average person would say. Some people, nah, it's not that bad, it's peak. And if you were really going against the conservative mindset, C. But guess what? Straight into S. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a hair in my mouth. This movie, in my opinion, recently, it has surpassed Spider-Man 1. Bro, where else are you getting a movie where this dude gets fired from his job for literally stealing a picture, goes to church, prays to God, kill my number one op. He went to a house of worship to pray for his boys, for his op's demise. Absolute cinema. You're not getting this anyway. Was it clunky? Yes. Was it flawed fundamentally? Potentially. But it does so much. It captures the essence and heart of the comic book. Perfect. TASM 1. The Amazing Spider-Man 1. This is a great movie. This is a great movie. See, when I was watching Brand New Day, the number one thing I was thinking of, there's so much sauce in this movie. When it comes to sauce, bro, the swinging, the suit, the quips, the comedy, the aura, off the charts. Story's kind of lacking, but it does make up where Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy can't talk. Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy, greatest to ever exist. And people hate on what's her name, Kristen Dunst, Mary Jane so much, but bro, she did a great job. The writing was not perfect, but it was written that way. She was a suffered soul. Gwen Stacy's just the queen of all queens. So I'm gonna put this in A. I feel like that's deserving. Now, back in the day, this gets an easy F, right? When I watched this, I was in the second grade. I remember it well. A lot of hate. A lot of hate. People legitimately like hated this movie so much. It was insane. And I loved, I love a lot in this movie, right? Once again, Gwen, her death, the snapback of the head, Peter not able to save her. One of the most saddest things ever. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Foxx Electro, like, that was really good until it wasn't. Harry. Harry is a complete joke in this movie. As much as I want to hate on Zendaya's Mary Jane, sorry, Michelle Jones, Watson, bro, what the hell was this Harry? What actually was somebody elaborate? What the hell was this Harry? I don't know. But I love Electro. It was a little rough, but Jamie Foxx did tremendously. Obviously, Andrew Garfield killed it. Emma Stone, she died, but yeah, she went crazy. Yeah, is this Harry takes this down so much? Because those would be his best friend, but they feel like they just met 2 seconds ago. and then the whole film just falls apart in like the last third. But I think it's still a definitive B. Okay, we in the MCU now, Chad. With this film, Homecoming, I think it did capture a lot that Spider-Man 1 captured. But it is very Iron Boy Jr.-ish. I cannot lie to you. I cannot lie. But they did a lot more good than they did bad. So I think this easily slides in to an A tier. Now we have by far definitively the only movie here that I cannot call great. Even Taz, your boy's gonna call this a great movie. I don't care. This movie is legitimately, if if I didn't love this character so much, legitimately, if I didn't love this character so much, this is a D tier film. I can't lie, but that would hurt my heart. And plus, oh my god, Mysterio is so good in this film. And we have to talk about the ripple effect, right? Mysterio, low-key like a mid-tier villain, not gonna lie, in terms of like scariness, in terms of like as the film progressed, but in terms of the ripple effect, he ruined Peter's life. Like no one other has. Thanos, bro, he blipped half of humanity for 5 years. He doesn't compare to Mysterio ruining Peter's life. He went crazy in this movie. Tom Holland did his thing. Ned was funny as hell. London was mid. The entire London trip was boring. MJ finally became like the love interest, but also she's a nothing burger character. Please go watch that movie and pay attention to MJ. She does nothing. She says nothing of relevance. She doesn't add anything to the film. Bro, it's literally default NPC Roblox girl. That is who Michelle Jones Watson is in this film. For the whole trilogy, but especially in this film. It's insane. Disgusting movie, bro. It pisses me off because there was so much potential here. And I really liked this at first watch, but on my second, third, fourth watch, bro, it's like this is bad. But it's not bad, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, and it just comes out as pure mid. No Way Home. Now, if we're talking about the first time view, if we're talking about second time view, if we're talking about how people talk about it on the internet, but I think this is a very easy. I think this is. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a B tier movie. It did bring back, as you can see, look at my freaking top three, right? It brought back my GOAT. One, I'm a nostalgia merchant. Nostalgia off the freaking charts. Like freaking, oh my god, the GOAT himself, Norman Osborn, bro. Green Goblin went absolutely bonkers. We saw Doc Ock again. Jamie Foxx, like I said, and he finally got to play like a good ending to his Electro. There's a lot of good in this movie, but also it's very clunky. Once again, MJ is a nothing burger character. Ned is the GOAT. Tom Holland is the GOAT. But there's so many things that are rushed. There's so many things that aren't fleshed out. There's so many things that aren't explained. And then you have Doctor Strange. Well, he was a great addition to the film. That was fun. And this is the first movie where we see Tom Holland Spider-Man not be Iron Boy Jr., right? Which we had to see 2 movies of Iron Boy Jr., which sucked. So once again, a film of a lot of good, a lot of bad, comes out good, but not as great as it should have been. That's the whole BC tier, where there's so much potential here. Well, A, these are amazing movies. S, some of the greatest movies ever, and then you have the greatest movie ever. Now coming to Brand New Day. This is an easy A tier, and I think it slides. Well, let me order this. I think this is how it would be. Brand New Day is by far the best Tom Holland movie, and it is quite close to this. It is really close. But my one issue with this movie by far has to be pacing, sequencing. It's clunky, in all honesty. The movie doesn't end abruptly, but I do feel like there was still more to be seen. I also feel like some scenes were sequenced weirdly. Like in this movie, Aunt May just died. Aunt May just died 2 seconds ago, and then they're all cracking it up like, ha ha, Peter 1, Peter 2, what's up, my boy? Like, yeah, I get it, nice, cheer him up, cool. But like, he was laughing a little too hard, bro. Your mother basically just died. And there's stuff like that where it's like, was this really sequenced well? But speaking of sauce, like I was talking earlier, this movie is saucy. It takes what's good in this and what's great in this. It combines those two things perfectly, and it doesn't come out like a carbon copy. It's not like, oh, he just took it from Raimi, he just took it from Mark Webb. Now this is Daniel Destin DDC. Well, I forget the man's name. He can direct a movie, bro. He went insane, bonkers on this film because he took the inspiration from these and he combined it to make perfection. The sauce was off the charts. The writing was good. Punisher added so much. Sadie Sings Jean Grey, peak casting. But yeah, the only lackluster thing here was the pacing, in my opinion. That wasn't even lackluster in all honesty. It was really good, but that was the one hit for me. Now we get to an easy S tier, Into the Spider Verse. Loki, nah. Into the Spider Verse slides into S very easily. I'll never forget watching this movie. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, wow, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Second time, greatest thing I've ever seen. Great, like it. The rewatchability on this film is probably the most rewatchable on this list. Honestly, because Spider-Man 1 is very rewatchable, but it gets a little repetitive because it's just the beginning, right? Spider-Man 3 has way too much going on. Spider-Man 2, emotionally, you're gonna be broken if you watch this 5 times. Same thing with TASM 2, which isn't as good. This movie has everything. It literally has everything. The soundtrack is the greatest movie soundtrack of all time. Miles is perfect. Peter B. Parker sucks, but that's what makes him perfect. It has everything. Cross. No, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This also slides into the S. But everybody acts like it clears into, and they act like it's the best thing ever, which valid. I understand. My one thing is the event of Across the Spider-Verse is way better than the event of Into the Spider-Verse. But if you're just looking at the movie itself, Into the Spider-Verse is the better film. Across has a lot going for it, but Across also takes a few hits. If we look at, I know this is a dumb complaint, but they massacred my boy Ben Riley, bro. They made him into a gag, a joke character, which, haha, funny. But also, this is one of the most revolutionary and cool characters in Marvel, and you're gonna make him into a joke. But also, it does lack a bit of the rewatchability that this movie has. And now you can argue rewatchability is not a correct aspect to argue in what makes a movie better, but I think it does matter to an extent. Secondly, it has a lot more going for it, which is a good thing, but also sometimes you just want something simple, streamlined, easy to digest. Um, but yeah, this is my tier list, subject to change, right? Like I wouldn't be mad if somebody said TASM 1 is better than Homecoming, but like more or less, this is what it is. So let me know if you agree. Let me know if you hate it. If you do hate it, die. I don't know. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.